Hey and welcome to Cybercom Gaming. We're back with another countdown video and now it's time to look at some classic PlayStation 1 games. The PS1 remains my favorite console of all time, and this platform delivered some great and iconic titles that many of us continue to hold dear and many of us continue to love. So we once again got together, sat down and wanted to work on a top 20 countdown video to kind of share with you guys some of our favorite and in our opinion greatest PlayStation 1 games. But to be honest, we couldn't agree on just 20 titles. We didn't want to miss anything, so we decided to extend the list to our top 30 favorite and in our opinion greatest PlayStation 1 games. These classic titles helped propel the PlayStation brand, which found its way into popular culture and became a symbol of cool. Now we wanted to acknowledge that this list is obviously subjective and might be different for a number of you guys. Everyone has different tastes and preferences and that is totally cool. This was not an easy list to get together, but eventually we did manage to get it down and we feel pretty confident about these listings. So if you wanted to be reminded of some great and iconic PlayStation 1 games, consider sticking around as we count down our top 30 favorite and in our opinion greatest PlayStation 1 games. Now you guys will notice that this video is broken down into two parts. This is part 1. We'll release part 2 real soon. We hope you guys enjoy. And kicking this list into gear at our number 30, we've got the fantastic Formula 1. Now, not only did this game have a fantastic and immersive soundtrack, but it also delivered a simple yet solid gameplay experience. I've had so many great memories playing this game and still remember back in '97 when I first played this game on one of those autumn Christmas releases demo discs. Eventually got the full game, but man, it was sharp, featuring all the tracks, cars and drivers from the '95 season. Just a great racing game for F1 and motorsport fans and or anyone who's into racing games in general. This is a forgotten classic and one we're totally down to include in this list. For number 29, we've got Ape Escape, which to us is easily one of the most technically impressive games on the console. Many gamers compare this game to having a similar experience to Super Mario 64, which might be a bold statement, but look, this game took full advantage of the DualShock analog controller, and although the stages were a little small, it packed punch and delivered fun and interactive environments full of detail. A colorful and memorable gaming experience and one any PS1 player will remember fondly.
Yes!
And Medal of Honor Underground battles for the 28th spot. Now, the original Medal of Honor set new grounds for first-person shooters on the PlayStation, a genre almost completely dominated by the N64 at the time. Continuing from its remarkable reputation, Medal of Honor makes a comeback with a prequel, Medal of Honor Underground. The enemy AI was as close to perfect as they come. Even for back then, they would hide behind corners, jump from ledges, shoot from rooftops, and even duck behind crates or barrels. Now, the story places you in the shoes of a French resistance member fighting to liberate your country from the chaos of the German onslaught. Indeed, a solid title with fantastic atmosphere and gameplay. And down to 27, what else but Twisted Metal 2. Now, to us, the replay value remains high and never seems to get old. The graphics, yeah, maybe outdated, but man, the gameplay was sharp. The game had an epic soundtrack and the stages were all excellent, each with its own unique features. Twisted Metal 2 delivered a solid single-player experience, but was way more fun with multiplayer. Still a 90s nostalgic gem, and one I've spent countless hours playing and swearing at the TV, just to end up coming back for more. Sneaking down to number 26, we've got that mild-mannered janitor, Abe, in Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. Now, this game has a very special place in my heart. I still fondly remember playing the Demo 1 disc back in the day, which ultimately got me to save up and get the full game. Now, You play as Abe, an enslaved member of the Motorcon race, leading a rebellion against corporate overlords plotting to make them a cheap food source. It's got a grim wit for sure, but full of warmth, humor, and loving attention to detail. Abe can say hello, wait, and follow me, laugh, display anger, fart, pray, and whistle. He uses all of these in increasingly complex ways, which brought quite the challenge, as you're also responsible for not running Abe's countrymen into meat grinders, off cliffs, and through minefields. Abe's Odyssey was great fun and a must-have PlayStation 1 game. Definitely consider jumping back onto this one, or also the remake if you have the chance. And sliding down to our 25th spot, we've got Cool Borders 2. Now this game knew how to hold it down. I still remember how we take turns sliding down the slopes. Yes, SSX took snowboarding games to another level, but Cool Borders 2, in our opinion, helped pave the way. 16 different tracks, 10 different characters, each with their own styles and attributes, together with a great soundtrack. Oh, and for the time, some pretty solid physics, which made for some intense turns, rolls, and flips. Grabbing the mic at number 24, we've got Parappa the Rapper. It's hard to believe that this game released 25 years ago. As a kid, I used to love this game, which was packed with fun, rhythm, and crazy rap battles. Now, this game was about a rapping cartoon dog, Parappa, who had a crush on a talking sunflower and has rap battles against an onion-headed sensei, a moose-driving instructor, a Rastafarian frog, and a chicken, Julia Child. It sounds crazy, but it was this level of trippy which made it absolutely brilliant. From the gameplay to the visuals, to the catchy tunes, to the memorable characters. Yep, we know we got you on some retro feels right here. For number 23, we chose Driver. Now, while most driving games in the PS1 era framed the action around races, Driver instead wanted to focus on recreating that 60s, 70s car chase movies. Now, everyone was talking about Driver. This game is set in an open urban world which was inspired by real cities, where you'd escape from cops and smash some cars up. I remember playing this game at my cousin's house, and soon afterwards would trade and just end up getting the full game. No regrets though, Driver was such a cool game. Okay, now before Days Gone, we had Siphon Filter, which takes our 22nd spot. You control Gabriel Logan, and the objective? Stop an attack caused by the Siphon Filter virus, which was created by one of the most wanted terrorists in the world. With solid gameplay and a great story, Ben managed to create a classic which many gamers still consider as one of the best games at that time. Siphon Filter deserves the praise, and we're gladly giving this game that recognition. We're steady moving down this list, and swinging at our number 21, we've got Spider-Man. A comic book game for the time, done right. This 3D beat 'em up had all of Spidey's powers. You could swing from building to building, crawl upside down the ceilings, and even lift up cars and throw them. I absolutely loved this game growing up. Probably finished it over a dozen of times. I still smile when I think about the plot. It was very comic book, I guess. Though cartoony, made perfect sense for the type of game. I still remember facing off against several of Spider-Man's best villains, including Rhino and Scorpion. We all love Spider-Man, and this game truly injected a level of charm future Spider-Man games would all take from. So consider revisiting this one, if not already. We're steady moving down this top 30 list, and Croc 2 gladly takes a 20th spot. I used to love Croc as a kid, and these 3D platformer games often get overlooked. Croc 2 is about a crocodile called Croc, who is on a quest to locate his long-lost parents, while at the same time trying to stop the evil Baron Dante, who's back and more evil-looking than before. This was a fantastic game with a lot of nostalgic value for me personally. Yep, we're still waiting for that Croc 3, or at least a reboot of this great and forgotten franchise. For number 19, we included Dino Crisis. Overall, Dino Crisis is a decent game, and if survival horror games is something you guys are into, you'll no doubt have a deep appreciation for this one. Yep, in Dino Crisis, you play as Regina, a member of the SWORD, which stands for Secret Operation Raid Team. where she, along with Gale, Cooper and Rick, are sent to Abyss Island to track down and arrest the mad scientist Dr. Edward Kirk, who has been leading a secret weapons project on the island. Shortly after the team arrive at the island, it becomes apparent that the facility is overrun with dinosaurs. We love Dino Crisis for its intensity, graphics, and for the time, good gameplay. The game had fantastic atmosphere, which in our opinion, helped move the genre forward. Racing down to our number 18, we've got Gran Turismo 2. Now we love our motorsport gaming, and this game, even by today's standards, still holds up pretty well. GT2 in our opinion improved on all the key aspects from the first. I mean, with nearly 650 cars, 27 racing tracks, modifications, dirt tracks, which were an excellent addition, coupled with an epic soundtrack, made this title a classic racing simulator for sure. GT2 built a solid and unrivaled foundation which greatly helped the GT series become what it is today. I've had so much fun playing this game as a kid with friends. It's just so ahead for its time, and we're still huge fans. And fighting for the 17th spot, we've got Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha. This is the first and true superior 3D Street Fighter game. I absolutely love the design, gameplay, and the excellent soundtrack. The 7 different modes of play, which included arcade, team battle, survival, watch, versus, time attack, and practice. You could play in virtually every way imaginable. The great selection of characters, each with their own movesets, together with that 90s Capcom atmosphere, still makes this a worthy title to revisit. This is a great fighting game, which, in our opinion, aged really well. A while ago we did a retro rewind featuring Fighting Force, which I'll link up right now, and the fact that this title is a forgotten gem, which aged really well. You know what? Our stance haven't changed. This is why Fighting Force sits firm at our number 16. This is a great 3D beat 'em up and was also one of my first PlayStation 1 games. I love this game and still play it to this day. The moves, characters, story and co-op multiplayer was and still is fantastic. Look, if you love PlayStation 1 gaming as much as we do, then I know you'll agree with this one. It's no secret that we are huge Crash Bandicoot fans, and Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back was for sure going to make this list, which is why it's sitting at our number 15 spot. I remember when I first got this game in the full version on Formula 1. Yes, we had to drive all over to the east side of Joburg from Pretoria to go and collect the games, which we also got at a pretty good deal on junk mail back in the day. This was also for my birthday, just some of my fondest memories growing up. Crash 2 brought a lot of fun, but had some challenging gameplay. The sequel did fix a number of things the first game fell short on. And Crash 2, to us, remains a solid and great 3D platformer that definitely stood the test of time and remains a PlayStation 1 classic, which we still enjoy playing to this day. And we've made it to the end of part 1, but stay tuned for part 2, which we will release real soon. Also, what did you guys think of this list thus far? Which was your favorite? As always, let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are. If you did like this video and this type of content, please consider hitting a like, smashing that subscribe button and bell notification so that you are notified for when we are releasing future releases. Thank you so much for all the support and see you guys real soon.